Hi, I'm Bernice and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a delicious and easy chicken cacciatore for your dinner. First thing I have to do in making chicken cacciatore is I need to prepare my braising pan. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my pan. I'm going to swirl it around because you want to make sure the bottom of your pan is evenly coated with olive oil. And then turn on your oven. And you're going to let that preheat for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then we're going to put our chicken into the braising pan. Okay, our braising pan is prepared with the olive oil and it's been heated. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add about 1.5 pounds of cubed chicken meat. To save some time, I've prepared it ahead of time by cleaning, washing, and cubing it. That way when I come home from work, I can quickly put this recipe together. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of Lorry salt to it once I have the chicken in the pan. I like to use seasoned salt on my chicken. And we're going to add some pepper to it also. This is going to take probably 8 to 10 minutes to cook. What we're really looking to do is brown this chicken before we add the other ingredients. Probably can hear that the chicken is sizzling because we have a nice hot pan. It's also important not to get your pan too hot or your chicken will start to stick to it. I'm going to add some seasoned salt generously to my chicken because I've got about 1.5 pounds in here. I'm going to want between 1.5 pounds and 2 pounds of chicken. And we'll put some pepper on our chicken also. And then what you're going to want to do is just to periodically stir this. It'll help keep it browning on all sides of the chicken. Plus it also helps the chicken from actually sticking to your pan. Since you are using a braising pan, this is the type of pan that your food will stick to, so you do need to cook at the proper temperatures. I tend to use my simmer burner instead of my high burner. That allows me to control the heat more accurately to ensure that my chicken does cook, but it doesn't burn, nor does it stick to the pan. Okay, our chicken has been cooking for about 5 minutes now, and you can see it's looking very nice. The pinkiness of the chicken is going away. We're starting to get a little bit of a brownness to it. Probably going to let it cook probably about 2 more minutes before I start adding the other ingredients. And we'll just let that cook a couple more minutes, simmering very nicely. Okay, our chicken has been cooking for about 8 minutes now, and it's looking very good. I did drain off some of the excess liquids because you only want about 1 tablespoon of liquid left in your pan. So now we're ready to add some of our additional ingredients to this chicken cacciatore. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 2 cups of sliced green peppers and onions. To save myself time, I buy these from my local grocery store as they're already prepared for me. And that saves me the time from dicing them, cleaning them, and preparing them. Okay, we've added our onions and our peppers. You can see we have a nice generous amount there for our dinner. So we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of garlic. I like to buy mine pre-minced so I do not have to do it. It saves me some time. And I use a couple tablespoons of some Italian seasoning. And let's just give that a real quick toss just to get those flavors started to blend through our meal. You see it's looking very nice, looks very pretty and very healthy. Okay. I like to use a seasoned tomato sauce that I buy from my local grocery store. You're going to want probably at least 24 ounces or maybe a little bit more depending upon how much sauce you like. See how pretty that sauce is. It's nice and rich and it's very red. You could really use anything that's your favorite. You might have some homemade sauce in the freezer that you made that you can use. Or like me, you can buy some prepared homemade sauce to save a little bit of time. And we're just going to mix that through. You can see how pretty that looks. So at this point, once you've got that all mixed through and you're getting all your ingredients layered together, probably going to let this cook for probably 20 to 30 minutes until the chicken has finished cooking, until your vegetables are nice and soft. And obviously, if you have some time, a little bit longer, leaving this simmer will just let those flavors blend together very nicely. So you can slow cook this if you have the time. Okay, we have our chicken cacciatore covered. I have it on simmering now for about 20 to 30 minutes. Probably every few minutes you just want to give it a quick stir. One thing you have to remember is that you're going to want to start getting your water boiling for your pasta. Because in the last 10 minutes of the chicken cacciatore, you're going to add some red wine and mushrooms. You're going to let that cook and reduce for about 10 to 12 minutes at the most. I'm going to make a penne pasta with my meal, and that takes about 10 to 13 minutes to cook. So you're going to want to time your pasta with the last ingredients that you put into your chicken cacciatore. Okay, our chicken cacciatore has been slow cooking for about 30 minutes right now. And in the meantime, I had gotten my pasta water boiling and ready to go. But because before I add the red wine and the mushrooms to our chicken cacciatore to finish the dish, I want to put my penne pasta into some hot water because this is actually going to take 10 to 13 minutes to cook. And I'd like to have my pasta done with my chicken cacciatore. All right, we put our penne pasta into the hot water to boil for about 10 to 13 minutes. I removed the lid from my chicken cacciatore. And as you can see, the flavors are coming together nicely with all the ingredients. The sauce is nice and rich and red. Our chicken looks nice and tender. What we're going to do next with our chicken cacciatore is we're going to add some fresh mushrooms to it. And you're going to add a cup of your favorite red wine. It can be a sweet wine, a dry wine, whatever you enjoy. We're going to put that into the chicken cacciatore. We're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes or until your mushrooms are cooked through and your sauce has reduced to the point where you would like it to be. Okay, so I bought my mushrooms from my local grocery store, and I bought them pre-sliced because that saves me, again, a lot of time, and when I come home from work, that allows me to get a meal on the table a little bit more quickly. You've probably got about 2 cups of mushrooms here. You do want to be generous with your mushrooms because what you do want to remember, they will reduce as they cook because mushrooms have a lot of water in them. So make sure you're generous with your mushrooms. The next ingredient that we're going to add is about a cup of red wine. You can put any kind of red wine in here that you like. This one I'm putting in is a sweet one because I like a sweet red sauce, but you could put a dry red wine in there. It's really your preference. You might want to try different red wines to see how you like them. Basically what we're going to do now is just stir our ingredients through. Probably going to let this simmer for about 10 minutes because we want the mushrooms to cook through and we do want the sauce to reduce a little bit. You can see it's a little thin right now, but that will reduce nicely. And again, if you have time, let this slow cook for a while. Your flavors will come through much nicer. Or if you have a little bit more time, you could also put this in a slow cooker and let it cook for a few hours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the chicken cacciatore and just get a nice serving of it over our plate. And then we're just going to spoon a little bit of that sauce because you definitely want some of that sauce over your pasta. It's reduced nicely. It's got a nice flavor of the red wine. And you have a nice dinner ready for you. And now we have our final plate of chicken cacciatore over penne noodles. If you take your chicken ahead of time and clean it and cut it up, have it ready for when you come home, buy your green peppers and onions pre-sliced and your mushrooms pre-sliced from your local grocery store, you probably can put this together in about 45 minutes after you come home from work. It's a delicious meal, it's very healthy, it's very tasty, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Thank you for stopping by today and joining us for this cooking segment.